speak about the goings on and solve a lot of problems starting with rugby league. How's everyone today, boys? Freddie, do you have anything for the listeners?
Nothing, mate. But we missed you last week. It was different, eh?
It was
Dano,
different.
It was very different. It felt like we were missing our Messiah.
Yeah, the leader.
Yeah,
someone you can fall back on.
Yeah. I miss getting touched after the show. No one knows about that though, but usually Roddy touches us after the show.
Have you not noted in the AFL they're cutting down on people with the old butt and nut touches in warm ups or pre-game?
I'd leave.
So yeah, I know that's
like, why do you play?
That's one of the reasons you may retire at the end of the year.
Yeah,
100%.
That's one of those things. Like when I got to Waterford today to help Laney's side, I ran a bit of water for the 17s, and you got there and they got this new change room, like where the sheds are built, just a little brick fucking building. And you go in there, and the showers have got dividers in them. They're all individual cubicles.
They've got that. They've got
no
that.
fun.
They've got that at Burpengary.
What's the fuck's it? The only reason I play football is for the shower. It's like I'm not here for the actual sport.
You could still shower now, though, man. Just
yeah,
after
I
watching.
I just got to bring a plastic bag, cover my cast, and then I'll be
That's when I was coaching juniors. That's what I used to do. Was be like, shower time, boys, get in there. Only kidding, and please.
Wow.
There's a level. You've got a school team, don't you?
Right, man. We got to guess.
Just found the level foot not to cross.
We got to
guess.
guess.
Here we are. Rugby code hopper and current West Brisbane Panthers Pink Panther outside back try scoring machine, daughter of West legend himself, Lilly Green, and part-time East guy. I think he was for 1 year.
Oh, he's hopped around a bit. But thank you so much for having me.
Nice. What was it? How did Freddie actually get you on? Because I didn't believe this would be possible for him to get another quality guest. Because he's been going hot. He's been hot. Like he gets some good guests on, old Fred. I'll give him that.
Oh look, he just chucked me a message. I'd do anything for Freddie. He knows that.
Oh, I'd do anything for you too, Freddie.
Normally when he says
really touching.
It was.
Yeah, we got to draw that line.
The funny thing is that I actually like when Lil changed over from Union, like to Sevens, she needed some defensive help, and I was like, yeah, I can sort you out with that.
You're teaching people to defend.
But anyway, it was just more about the whole transfer into rugby league and different things like that, and we also mixed in a bit of PT stuff. So and Lily went to Mount Maria when I was first there that year. She was finishing year 12. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you did this for free, eh?
What's that?
You did it for
no,
free?
She paid me.
No, money was spent.
I paid her to do it.
What an utter shock. I can't believe that.
I wouldn't pay you to run me a bath, let alone teach me defence. Fuck.
How was the transition? Because over the years I've coached rugby boys like Kiwi rugby boys, and they've watched league, but until we get to training and have to break down getting back 10, marker defence, things like that. Some of them were outside backs and they end up transferring into the forwards in league just because they had to keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, I think it was so hard for me to transition in probably every aspect of it. Just the having to get back 10 for starters, but also just the not like constantly running, because obviously I was playing sevens, so you don't ever really go off timing off someone else. Like you make the tempo, you make the speed of the game. And here it's like I'm constantly backpedaling or like stopping myself. So I think that was probably pretty tough. But that just came from probably watching a lot of rugby. Like I've just started watching so much more NRL than before.
That's something that also that can be utilised as a great tool to help people. Like even people that are in the NRL, like I heard the Knights coach on the radio today saying Kalen Ponga spends a lot of time watching NRL, watching Tedesco, watching Slater games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a useful tool, not just for enjoyment, but also for education.
Yeah, like if you like leading a game and you want to know how to throw it away in the last 15 minutes, I can send you a video of our game on Saturday where you just fuck up and choke and then just really don't respond to adversity in any capacity and just throw the game away in the last minute. But
kick it straight to the fullback, like 10 out of 10 times.
Well, can you send it through?
Yeah, I will. But if you like comedy, this is it. Or you're a Redland supporter, this is quite good viewing.
Yeah, fuck me. Then I would, fucking shit house. But Lil, is it it's a difference between, and I find this when I watch some of the like when I watch some of the people I know that are playing, like you transfer over and stuff, but it's an effort backed up by an effort, and I don't think that's like sevens.
No.
Like it's an effort, then you get a bit to cruise.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
I think little stuff, even my dad absolutely sprayed me. One day I made a tackle and I just turned around and ran back to the wing.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Not working at marker.
Yeah, he goes, tying at marker, like there's always something else for you to do. Like if you want to do it, you'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to take a scoot, you'll take a scoot. Like where in sevens it's like, if it comes my way, here we go, girls, let's go
That's
for a
it.
jog. Like
Yeah.
it's so different.
Yeah, I find that like the other with Mackenzie, it's like trying to teach her to be like it's effort and then back up with another effort and another effort. You just can't go chill.
Yeah, you have to be so much more conscious of like what's going on, people around you. Where honestly, I reckon I played 3 years of sevens, didn't think about one thing that girl was doing next to me. Like we could just kind of run the ball together. Where now there's so much more thought that goes into rugby league, but I love that part of it. Like I love the mental part of it where you have to actually think steps ahead and
a big part of concentration too, like one lapse in concentration in league can, even if you lapse for a couple of seconds, could put you out of position, out of spot. If you're on the wing and you have a quick lapse and then the play's gone and your centre throws the ball to where you should have been and it just dribbles over the side or something like that, so you really got to be on your game.
The off the ball efforts too in league, like pushing up on a blind side, just being there, helping support, run the support line, being that third person in around the legs, then have to be the first person to peel and then have to do like a shuttle back into the line to defend. Little things like that. Like I like watching rugby sevens. Do you watch much rugby sevens?
Yeah, I do, I love it. But visually, it's probably such a good sport to watch. But
yeah, if you've got someone like Carlin Isles,
visually I like it better than the league girls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, of course you
grot.
do. Yes, that sums you
they
up.
They do a bit
well.
more running, you know.
It's just it's, you know.
You're a
Less
coward,
lesbians. I don't know. It's fucking.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. You
That's a
obviously
big call.
haven't.
Yeah, you obviously haven't been on a camp.
Yeah.
Well, invite me on one. I'm fucking keen.
When Christian retires at the end of the year, I'm sure he'll have plenty.
For
of
sure,
job
don't call me Christian,
opportunities.
but anyway. But talk us through this jacket you got on, Righty. So it's donated by our man Damo Tuka.
Yeah, Damo with the level 2, and it's rugby jacket too. One thing about rugby people, their kit is far superior
100%
to the league. You go like I've got a heap of rugby and league clubs on Facebook, and you see the hoodies and that they come up with, or you see them around like around Albion. You see a lot of Norse blokes and other club and our brothers blokes. Their kit is mint. You know, like even the shorts and that. They'll have heaps of sponsors, and there's shorts that you could just wear around at the shops and things like that. They have to pay a heap more to sign on, but they do things. They've got so much more connection with people with cash. Like brothers redid their field. Mitchie redid their field. We had to help the council. It took us like 6 months. They had theirs done in like a month, you know, and had dudes down there working for free, all these tradies.
It's
and
a gentleman's
people.
game, righty. They got all those.
I swear, they start
gentlemen.
running out to the field in a suit and they slowly strip off until they get to the middle of the field into their gameplay.
Until they're wearing nothing and tackle each other in a big puddle.
Yeah.
It's just such a different...
Just such a... For cocky, just out the middle.
It's like...
I always thought you'd suit that rugby culture well, Freddie.
Yeah, you would. You're a big dick guy.
But how's the kit compared? You've been both. Was the kit way better in the sevens?
Oh my gosh, we were treated well. Yeah. And even just like, even the spectators, like they love a puffer vest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that Pink Panthers kit looks right. I'll have to get myself some Pink Panthers kit as well.
I'm not complaining. We're doing great, but I don't mind a sevens. Sevens shorts are a lot like fitted. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. Where
Freddie would trust me on that.
I have the same pair of pants that Dame would get from West. There's no difference.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You're probably filling them out just as much as
Yeah.
Dane always say.
Not if, just definitely more.
Have him covered in the
I've
squat
showered
and
next
that.
to him. He's still got me covered, but it's not by much. But we're not talking about Sam Voorhees here that I've heard rumours that he's the most biggest guy getting around.
How would you know the man
Talking
never
about
showered?
dicks, let's talk about fucking stags.
Yeah.
Oh, the old porn.
Cadoni.
Yeah, well, so the fact that you make a porn for yourself, you feel like you're going.
But
all
he
right.
didn't make it. It's his missus filming, yeah?
Yeah, well, when you're getting filmed sucking a person's toes, that's probably more disturbing than the actual porn because everybody can understand the porn antics. But the old toe suck is a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit much, isn't it?
When the photo they took of the old about 4 deep toes in his gob, you know, like that
He's
was
just-
more disturbing
Just
than
checking
anything
out
else.
his gag reflex.
Yeah.
But also, she's filming a gun from the top. Like,
Yeah, she's got a bad angle
yeah,
of herself.
it's
eh?
not-
I would have been
Oh,
hovering up
and
here
it
trying
might-
to get a better
You're
angle.
thinking it's a couple years
Bird's
old.
eye view
You're
would be
thinking-
better.
Yeah, you think it's a couple years old because I heard someone say he's got a bit less tats in that video, and then also, you know, he's doing a 4. Right now, he'd probably be doing a 9 or an 8 or a 9. You know, like he's.
Yeah.
She's been done on a charge, like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
publishing that. Like there was that video that did the round years ago, claiming this guy who looked like Jimmy Tamu but wasn't was with a girl in the toilets up in Townsville. The guy was about 30 kilos less and didn't have as many tats, and people were sharing it around going.
And he was a female, so no one believes it was James Tarmo.
That's Tarmo, and then I was going. He's 30 kilos heavier than that. Put 2 photos, Palmer on a photo of this dude. With Stags, it was hard to argue, but he's the least of their problems. They got blokes jumping ship left, right, and centre there, man.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
ship's
That at
sinking,
least-
I watched it through to the toe suck.
That at least took the pressure off some other shit that's going on in that club by one bloke getting blackmailed by some Sheila he met out somewhere.
But it's not even like blackmailed. What he was having sex with a girl. She filmed it. There's nothing illegal about it.
Yeah.
The only thing illegal, like really,
Yeah,
is
but
she's about
she
she-
published it,
yeah.
but it was a revenge thing on him. She
Yeah.
was trying to get back at him. So I wouldn't have been surprised if something didn't happen. She was threatening to do this.
Yeah, revenge porn.
I know a bloke.
I
who-
swear to God,
Yeah.
my miss
Very
ever.
cheeky. Come on, Gritty, don't you dare.
Don't worry, no one's going to be rushing to find your porn.
That won't be getting shared on Messenger
Yeah.
too much. I'm just
0
telling you,
views.
yeah. We won't be putting that in the AGM page, all right, for the viewers and the listeners.
It'll come up in Pornhub if you search small white penises. Fucking,
Yeah.
yeah.
And unpleased misses.
A disappointing night.
That's good. See, a disappointing night with Freedy.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
It's like every Sunday when I get here, I'm disappointed.
Do you still come every fucking Sunday?
I'm actually glad I got here tonight and I didn't have Keenan in here just
ragging on us.
chewing his jaw. I'll just,
Yeah, so Lil,
clapping
usually
him the whole
Keenan's
time.
sitting there just ragging on all of us. He wasn't here like, Righty couldn't make it last week because he had to work. But it was last week. It was Keenan and
Jakey
Jakey.
Morris.
Yeah.
But Jakey's obviously not here. I put him in hospital with the
Yeah.
shithouse pass.
Yeah.
But
Does anyone know how
sorry,
Thank
Jakey.
you.
I fucking
Very
man,
well. That was
I'm so
terrible.
sorry, bro.
that was terrible.
It was, I messaged him. I go, bro, it's so amateur by me putting it above your head like that. So I really do feel
and the
bad
bloke,
about it.
and it was right in front of the bloke that could whack. I was out there with the water.
There's
and
only
they-
one bloke who could whack. And
There was they
Yeah.
were big, and this bloke hit him right in the spot, and he landed on his shoulder. It wasn't the impact; it's just how he landed that caned him. So he got jammed and then landed, and the more pain came after the impact. What about yourself, Freddie? Give everyone an update. You've injured a digit, all right?
Yeah, well, I think the middle finger, so my rude finger on my left hand, I think that ligament snapped. That's what the doctor reckons, and I'll go get scans tomorrow to see if it has. I need to get the like microsurgery just to reconnect it so I can actually use that finger again, like so it can come up.
Yeah.
But at the moment, that's me trying to stick it upwards.
And that's not looking good.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good for pleasuring.
Would it be? Yeah.
But not good for
not for
football.
pleasuring
Life.
anybody
Yeah,
you
that's-
know.
yeah, life.
How long would you be out for? with
Well,
it?
if it is a microsurgery, I think I'm gone for the season. But
would there be retirement?
not off this season. Fuck that. No, not.
Well,
not off
that's
this season, mate.
disappointing because I've already organised when we play the Natives in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Andrew Scraper, friend of the show and good
Yeah.
bloke,
And he'll be
to
coming
drive-
on soon.
Yeah, to drive you around at full time
Okay.
in a golf buggy around West Mitchie
No, I
as the people
And
chant
if
you.
Critty knows I can't retire off this fucking season with COVID and all that shit. I don't know count it, man. It's fucked. I got to finish on a fucking normal season where you get the whole season in. We'll win the comp, and Dano won't have his fucking little injury over there that he faked, and it will be good.
Yeah, so low expectations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
low expectations.
Well,
Yeah.
good. No pressure going into the pre-season and stuff. Okay, that's good.
Well,
Right,
Yeah.
that's good.
If we can keep the whole
What about the
side-
West girls? Did you just have a draw on the weekend?
Yeah, we did. It was 8-all against Burleigh. Fuck Burleigh.
Did
Are they
Burleigh,
big? Are they
Burleigh
big?
have a couple?
Yeah, they're big
Do
girls.
Burleigh have a couple of sides now? Now it's changed. They look like they had 40 players there the other week.
Well, everybody did want to head down the Gold Coast apparently to join them post COVID.
Yeah.
But so they had a bit of a selection to pick from. But no, they're a pretty stacked side. So honestly, we were pretty lucky to come away with a draw.
I saw the first game you played them down there. Before it got called off. And when you rattled up a heap of points in the first half, then they did that to you in the second half and missed a kick and won, and you just won by 2 points.
Yeah.
And they scored more tries, but they couldn't kick any goals.
Yeah, we Lana Sheedy, she's a good goal kicker. Our conversions get us away with a bit of a cheeky win every now and again.
And they had a big centre, that big, tall Indigenous girl. I think she was out, looked a bit TI. She looked like she was struggling to be tackled. No one. People look like they had fear of the brown
They
girl.
have a couple of those. You could pretty much name any position, and that's they're good. But we versed them in the grand final last year, so it's a bit of a ongoing kind of thing we've got.
That's nice. And Tweeter shafted with this, aren't they? They were in, but are they out now?
Well, it's really changing every day for our competition. So they were, and then we got the Broncos half, Taryn Aiken, and she was great. She was pretty much best on field for us on Saturday, so we were pretty stoked with her. But they're hoping that this year the Queensland government let the Tweed girls across the border for the weekends, but I'm secretly hoping they don't, because I'm pretty happy with Taryn.
And with Lil, with your comp, does your comp get inflicted at all with the NRL? You go straight from your comp straight into NRL?
So we've only got 2 more weeks of actual games, and then it's a final. Yeah, and then everybody, if you're picked for an NRLW side, then you go.
And do they go squad or do they go straight team?
Squad. Yeah.
Are you hoping to get into that this year?
I wouldn't say this year would be an option. Like, I would be pleasantly surprised if that was on the cards for 2020. But I would. My goal is probably next year, the year after, a bit more realistic. I want to be ready for the opportunity as well. Like, this is my second year playing rugby league. I don't even know all the rules, to be honest. Like,
neither does Freddie, and Freddie's an international, and he looks at me and asks me things all the time. I'm going,
we can't all play the game as good as Freddie though.
I ask him things. Ask him how the fuck is he a level 2 coach?
Okay, you got burnt by Cal last night when we were watching a game at Mitchie. He goes, What do you reckon? Freddie's at home doing his homework, watching this, studying this game now. And I went, probably not. He goes, fuck, he needs to.
Cal who?
Cal, the great man.
Cal Stewart. When did I get burnt by him?
He burns you all the time. You're not there.
You weren't there.
You weren't there. It was behind your back.
He goes,
he does love putting the slipper into you when you know.
And then another one.
Yeah, see you in open threes, Cal. Fuck
and there was another. And then he goes, seriously, you can't have Lilly Green coming on with Freddie and all his cock talk. And I go, yeah.
Lily knows exactly.
I can deal with the cock talk. Yeah. I can deal with it.
It was just good the way he burnt you every time like that. Even like he owned you.
How do you play in frames anyway, Cal?
He got dragged.
Yeah, fucking see you next week then, dickhead.
He did get dragged, and sat a bit on the bench, and they had an injury.
They got exposed a lot in the weekend in reserve grade.
Callum Stewart.
You said poor Cal.
Oh, poor Cal.
I said poor Cal.
Poor Cal, as in he's the greatest
But
bloke
anyway,
in the world.
I do rate him as a player, and I love Cal. I just give him a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I know that if I fucking don't say that, he'll probably cry at home. So I just, Cal, I love you, brother.
Cal's mum wants to come on the show. She's a big fan of the show. She wants to come on. We told her that. She put it to Cal, said we can go on as mother and son.
Yeah, 100%. Bring those twins on.
But then Cal was all embarrassed about that. So let's try and get it on. Get the 2 Stewarts on. Yeah, that's 100%. For a future episode.
You guys watch much footy this weekend, right? Do you see many games?
Yeah, Sharks and Para in the wet was a good bashathon.
That was
where was that played? Because I just watched the
They
highlights.
play out of Cogra now.
Yes.
Yeah, because
it was pissing down.
Oh, ridiculous! And it's meant to still rain for another couple of days in Sydney. So
Well, that's another situation we were saying, like with the Lilly side, they get a couple of wins off goal kicking. The Sharks scored 3 tries to Parramatta's 2 and end up losing 14-12.
The only blemish on Johnson's game was his goal kicking. His general play kick was outstanding.
And he played unbelievable.
A couple of one of those general play kicks, it just stopped in a puddle. Fucking man. And Brown, bro, he's just growing and growing as a player.
He's really
Dylan Brown, very good player. And he's still only young.
I don't know if you've heard of him. His name's Dylan Brown. He plays 5'8" for Parramatta, but he's fucking
Freddie
sick,
scouted him last week.
When he was 16, he got called up into.
If he did a sex tape, rock hard, I reckon, just fucking jackhammer.
That'd be you who'd be rock hard watching that man the sex tape. Calm it down.
He's a nutcase too, Dylan Brown. He's a fitness freak. They reckon he tried to go toe-to-toe with Gutherson at pre-season and ended up vomiting.
Oh, really?
They had to call an ambulance. He was that boomed.
Yeah.
Geez, that's going super hard.
I like that.
He loves it.
We got the reverse. We got blokes who bruise eyelashes and go down screaming at training.
I've seen them.
Dylan Brown.
I'm going, you are now...
what's his name again? Let me just say.
You are now embarrassing yourself here.
Every time I see Ivesy in pre-season, every training session you see him, you just sort of got to find a way to hurt yourself quickly or get quickly shit off to the toilet or something for as long as possible.
Yeah, you guys are pussies.
Yeah. Exactly.
Lil, who's your team do you go for?
You have a team?
Are you
I don't really go for teams. I just like players.
Who's
you know
your
what I
favourite
mean?
player? Besides Freddie, who's your favourite
well, damn it.
It's got to be me then, surely.
Obviously took number 1. Well, it's a little bit of a classic at the moment. But maybe like Pappenhausen.
Yeah.
I'm just loving it.
How must the Tigers feel when they saw him and they had him
go?
And he was like, it was New South Wales 16s, 18s. They obviously, I always wonder, they thought they were going to keep Tedesco and he left. When he left, it reminds me of the fuck up the Broncos have made with Fafita. Like,
Can I just stop you there, Righty? Sorry, you continue on after this. Every time Fafita got the ball on Friday night, it pissed me off. Because I was like, how the fuck have we let this cunt go?
When he scored that try,
and then they're like, but we've signed Farmhouse or
Farmworth, yeah.
And we're like, oh yeah, sweet. But we've let Fafita go. Fuck me. Continue,
how you lock these dudes in early? Like, there was a story about Tom Trebojevic when he was playing 16s at Manly playing SG ball.
Yeah.
The Swans were interested. And
really?
Because he was
He's
playing
an AFL player before.
He used to dabble just on the side, play with his mates, but he was playing all junior reps and
probably
playing
could have
league.
played cricket if he wanted to.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
He could have.
His sex tape would have gone viral.
Yeah. So
Pornhub number 1.
You are the sex tape collector, though. That's good about you. And so then the Swans thought, right, we'll put him on something, and Manly got wind of it and put him on a contract just so you couldn't get tempted to go somewhere else. And he didn't want to go. But all of a sudden, like with Fafita didn't want to leave. But you throw that much money in front of people, you don't know what's going to happen in 3 years. If in 3 years you've got 2 knee recos and all of a sudden your value's not you're not the same player, all of a sudden you're not worth the money. He wanted to buy his parents a house. He can buy his parents a house, his kindergarten teacher a fucking house, and rent out another house for his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mum somewhere. The kid's got that much money, and you got to make money. Look in the NFL. It's about money. But if you locked him in early, you didn't have to worry about that.
It's all about recruitment and retention, and retention's something that obviously the Broncos are starting to struggle with. Everyone wants fucking out of this sinking ship.
Yeah, well, the recruitment isn't happening.
Exactly.
You know,
it's good that everyone seems to be behaving there. Look, it's not like anyone stepped out of the hub or oh, that's right, half the fucking joint has. I can understand if you're some poor dude who wasn't. My favourite's Alan Langer, because when he stepped out of the hub, he went. Alan Langer went to the Caco, and I can imagine me doing that too.
Well, down on the weekend, we had Tate and Takiri down at the game watching
Jamil Hopewadi was there too.
Oh, really?
That was him standing. He doesn't look. He must be fucking powerful, because he just looks like he's a fit bloke who was playing BRL or something like that. And Takiri's massive. Lottie. If you ever Google Lottie, that man is a mad rooter. Just, when he went to Leinster,
he's
got Sheilas everywhere. When he went to Leinster, he was playing. He was.
Can you imagine it'd be like a forearm?
Jesus,
surely.
Yeah.
When he got,
did that just stretch up before?
That was when he got the ass from the Wallabies. He brought a Sheila back to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
And
What'd
so
she
they were
say?
trying to get rid of him. No, but you breached the protocols. When he went to Leinster to have like an off season, so you know how you live in an island, you think you just play footy and have a drink. Not him. He starts dating a local soapy star.
No, you're training fucking.
while he had his missus and his family back in Sydney, and his missus gets wind of this, and he has to cut
Oh,
the
no.
contract short.
This is footy boys.
Lottie,
Footy boys.
Lottie is a man who enjoyed everything as much as he could.
He's my new hero, I think. I like Lottie.
Oh, he could play. And he's a massive, like you standing next to one of our mates, Jimmy Hunt, who's a man mountain,
Yeah.
and he was bigger than Jimmy.
Yeah, he made Jimmy look small and was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Jimmy
I do
actually
the same.
looks like John Cena.
But that's the thing, when people are all whinging about Tate being in the, not Tate, about Princey being in the competition, all these people came to see Scott Prince play at
100%,
Mitchie,
it's awesome.
and would have been,
Yeah.
and I imagine it would have been a mad crowd at Valleys last week. And
Yeah. And he's still a sword.
yeah.
Will.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. If you're listening.
We'll get him on and we'll get Lil on as well.
If you had to rate Princey out of 10 and then rate Freedy out of 10, can you give us those numbers?
Well, why can't it just
Oh.
be Princey out of 10?
Yeah, look-
and
Well,
don't
I
worry
didn't-
about me.
Super tough comparison, but I'm
Yeah.
going to stick with Princey on this one.
It's quite disappointing.
Oh,
Don't
smart.
blacklist her from ever
But
coming on the
like
show
I
again.
saw Princey got walking in the dressing sheds. He looks like he's just consistently been like fit since he's finished, which helps with like fucking youth as well. And just fucking would have always had a footy in his hands.
He's playing
he
rep
look-
touch
yeah.
footy too. He
Yeah.
was till he started playing this, and
It just
he just ran the show.
And I think he could have got he could have pushed a couple more years out of NRL than he did. I
Yeah.
think he
Or
retired
Super
while he
League,
was
if he
going
really
well.
wanted to go,
Yeah.
he could have just gone to a good Super League side and just steered the ship. Had the
Yeah.
forwards running off him,
Yeah.
had the backs, just controlled the game, gave it to the right people at the right time.
Which is what a lot of blokes do, and it's smart considering the amount of money that gets thrown around in those competitions. And even for Princey coming down, like I'm sure he's not making good money, and it's not, obviously he's not there for the money, but like just to come to a side and even watching him yesterday, he didn't have to do too much defence. He was guarded pretty well. All he did was steer the ship,
Yeah.
point his finger, and kick
If
the ball.
I heard he puts up a kick, the crowd cheers.
Yeah, the
Mm.
crowd
Yeah.
was going nuts. And everyone was into him. And he was,
One of
How
my-
old is he?
Princey,
40.
He's 40.
Yeah, he
No, he's not.
He's
I thought
40.
he's 40 now.
just 40.
Yeah,
one
right.
of my mate,
Fuck.
one of my
Looks
mates,
younger than me.
Nathan Hughes, is the coach there at Valleys, and he
not
reckons
hard.
it's unreal because he just coaches them on the field. He goes, I coach him off the field, righty. Princey just coaches them
Yeah.
on the field. I don't have to worry about nothing like that. You don't have to overcall
Kind of like
things.
our team, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when I'm on the
that's-
field, I'm coaching everyone.
no, okay. There's a reason why referees tell me to get off the field all the time, and I didn't know that. You know how many times I just tell them, mate, you can't be on the field this often. Oh, I didn't know the rules. I know the fucking rules. I'm just going on there all the time.
Yeah.
You just got to pull the old, I'm checking on me player, and then just get someone to hold their head every time.
It was good in the weekend because we had Ian Irwin, and he started reffing literally in the 80s, so he's not real big on calling up the water runners. But the
Yeah.
opposition kept telling me and Ivesy made a change at a scrum, and that's a big no-no, but they let him do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Lil. So with you guys, when we obviously with us footy boys, when we're out training, we're talking footy and stuff like that. With the girls, are you talking about the weeks that you've watched, like that NRL that week, or like what's the difference there?
No, I wouldn't say we talk about NRL ever. I don't know if that's ever come out.
Does any of the girls ever talk about Freedy?
Yeah, we've got a couple of secret admirers in there.
Who's the beefcake? That guy playing, what were your numbers? Number 7.
Yeah, but
No,
anyway,
I'll tell you what they
going
say.
back
He
to
was
the
that
footy.
old man on the other field. He needs to sit down.
Who's the guy? Who's that guy? Looks like he just got off the bus from the
No,
old crack clinic. Dead.
Clinic.
That's Chad.
yeah.
But like we live and breathe it. As soon as we get down to training, we're talking about fucking what's happened or what we think's what we're going to bet on. You know, that kind of
No,
shit.
it's definitely probably a bit slower pace than I would say with the boys. Like, we'll definitely have a chat about it, but it's usually after we have a bit of just a girl chat.
Yeah.
Beforehand,
Yeah.
we're girls. We
Pillow
like to have,
fights
yeah,
and shit.
yeah, exactly like that. Exactly like that. Some 90s, the whole lot. No, we have a bit of a normal chat, and then we'll get into just our game. Like, we don't really talk about boys because it's just such a different game. Like, we're so far behind, like if you guys were to watch like footy from the 80s, that's like what we're playing at the moment.
Well, that's what I've said a lot, and I think I've said it to you before, Righty. I feel like when I watch you girls play, I feel like I'm watching very early 90s games.
It's
Yeah.
really,
Because it's spread out on a deep back line and shit like that.
not
Like
flat and fast, not-
there's not a lot of blocking and dumping and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's watching like the early 90s games.
Yeah, definitely. So that is kind of, we just talk about our own stuff. We talk about the girls that we'll be versing in the next week. What's happening.
That would be handy, wouldn't it? Like a lot of those girls in your side and that playing different rep sides and that, you kind of get to know they can tip you into who you're going to be marking or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I even train with Jamie Lewis, and she plays for South. So like, do you know, like
she got team of the week this week, didn't she?
Last week, yeah. The one for this week hasn't come out yet. No, she's killing it. She just came back from a shoulder reco. Like she's had both of them done.
And that's after a knee reco too,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, yeah. And we do strength and conditioning together, and she's worked her like ass off to get back to where she is. So like,
yeah, Freddie used to train her too, but then she surpassed him after about 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, then she used to train me. So
so went to find a more qualified trainer.
She is literally the most coordinated person.
Fuck me. Yeah, I'll be like, do this and this, and then she'd be like, all right, yeah,
how
check
about
this
Freddie?
out.
You do this.
Yeah,
and this. Yeah, she's all over it. No, she's so good.
What's it like playing, like, obviously in a side and you come straight across codes and then you come into a side with players who are already playing high levels, like coming in and playing with people like Julia and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing that I think in times I probably miss. I didn't get to do like a grassroots muck around kind of thing. I just came straight into a pretty high level situation. But it's crazy how much you do learn having girls that have played for Australia. Like there's literally nothing higher than these girls. And she's playing inside me. You learn so much faster, I think, than if I did come in and play under 18s or something.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how fast you have to pick stuff up because the people around you are playing so well.
Yeah, and it's always like, it's like an old sort of saying, you sort of play to the level that you put into.
Oh, so that's it.
If you were going to go, like, if I was going to go play open threes for a year, by the end of the year, I'm sure I'd be playing at open threes level. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The same as if you're going to be in a side with all the girls, everyone's putting in, we're all up here. It's going to bring you up, or it's going to bring some people.
Yeah,
I have known many people that drop down a level and they feel they're going to dominate and don't do nothing because you're playing at different sorts of speeds of the game. You're playing a slower game and you might be getting jammed. The opposite number could be jamming you more than if you're playing a faster level. Like in ones, our game's pretty quick. Like now it seems quicker than other years because you're playing blokes that you're not really seeing regularly.
I'm pretty sure it goes Queensland Cup ones and then BRL and then Prams.
And when you looked at them like reserve grade and that in the weekend, they look faster. Like, you know what I mean, with the players that are in there. And playing in that Valley side with those fringe cup boys and having Princey calling the shots, and even that West side, you look at what he's got there, like Joe McCullum. He's played cup. He was Canterbury 20s, like, and he's a star. He was like that bloke could still be playing cup. Foycer's a machine off the bench.
Yeah, Butters leads around.
Yeah,
Butters was back. this week.
He
killed
got,
nice.
he
He fucking kills it, man.
They had him and
got
Jack
man of the
Walters
match.
as one too.
Sweet.
And Molo. Molo would have been playing for the Cutters. Would have been playing cup at the Cutters.
Yeah.
Like,
And he got players play yesterday, Molo.
Yeah, so
he was real handy.
Their two best players were Butters
and
Molo, and they stood out.
Yeah,
and,
nice.
And guys like Foycer gave him impact off the bench. He's played cup at East, and you got guys like
Foycer's been around for 30 years, man. He's 30. He's the same age as me. He's 33. So he started when he was 3. And he's been around for 30 years. Wait, Lil, with I wanted to ask before I forgot about having your dad as coach, because I've had my dad as a coach in some of my sporting things, and it's fucking different, you know. But
yeah, look, it's never happened before. I'm not sure if I will ever happen. Like it will happen again after we finish like this stint. Like it's so good. We've had some great memories, but I think there's this like stigma around it where people think that I would get so many benefits, and I'm not
when
sure.
It's
the opposite.
Yeah.
Like even some of the girls come up to me and they're like, "All good, Lily," because like I do one thing and he's like, "You're fucked. Come over here, mate. Like you've got another thing coming." Where like if another girl did that, he's like, "All good. Come on, just come and do it again." So you know what I mean? It's just such a different relationship. But in saying that, he's a really good coach, and we don't struggle to make it different between like, I don't think many people would be like, that's definitely his daughter. You know what I mean? Like, he's pretty just cutthroat with everybody.
Is there a lot of footy talk at home, or you just leave it?
Nah. Yeah. I think my mum would probably lose her mind if we
Dana
went
knows
home.
your mum.
Huh?
Well, this is going down
You know
a
her
creepy
mum,
venue.
Wait, how do you know
This
my-
is a creepy avenue you could be walking down here. Is this
Yeah, how do you
serious?
know my mum?
Remember when she came down and got up down in the big
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She was
Oh,
getting
She's
into
a
David
legend.
Will,
I love her.
Oh, this is a real story. Thank fuck. I
If-
thought that was going somewhere bad.
Me too.
Oh,
My
If
face
anyone-
went. I was.
No,
my
because
face went
Dano
cold.
said he
I
was
like,
nervous about having you on because he was
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
they like kind of upped each other.
Oh,
down in
yeah.
the big
Well, if
bed.
anyone wants to know where I get my, like, stubbornness, like, stand up for yourself from, it's
Yeah.
Shannon. She's
Yeah.
a legend. Yeah. No, I love her. But no hard feelings.
I just had a white face. I was like, "Oh, what
Yeah.
have I done? Oh no!" Reece
Dane
put
got
me
a
on the
little bit
spot. I was
scared.
like, "Oh shit!"
Alright.
I was flushed for a second. there.
That's okay. Take a sip.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just the same. Like with my dad when he was coaching me, he was like, we left it out there, and then when we were at home, we didn't mention shit.
Yeah,
until,
that's how it's
But if
got
I
to
played
be.
a fucking shit game, man, on the way home, I'd fucking
Yeah,
hear about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I definitely hear about it. I would hear about it more. Like, he's way more into this in terms of me. Like, in the past, I don't think he really cared about my sport. Like, I did a lot of stuff and he was like, "You look, Lil, that was a bit shit, but come back next week." But now he's the coach. He's like taking it personally. He's like, "No, that's shit. That makes me
Yeah.
look like dog shit. Like, you need to get down there earlier." Like, a bit more expectation on me, I'd say. But it's not
Especially
a bad thing.
playing at a high level too, and he's obviously wants you to succeed. He's probably just
Yeah.
pushing those values and trying to get that quality.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
highest standard.
And
you can.
that-
And you don't want to hear the talk of rugby league is, oh, how shit did Greeny's daughter go? You have one bad game,
Yeah.
and everyone's talking about that because you're Greeny's daughter.
Yeah.
Not like where someone else has a shocker, no one remembers their name.
Yeah, that's
But
definitely
because of you.
And
one thing. Like, I think to hold my spot in the team, in the squad, it's like I can't make the mistakes that some other people do. Like, I need to have a bit better of a game to really prove that
Yeah.
I have this position because I'm fucking good at it.
And
you know
that's
what I mean?
and that's with you girls. You don't get the luxury of we get the luxury of having open ones, twos,
Yeah.
threes, fours.
You go
fives,
down, you
sixes.
can come back up. There's a lot of
you've got-
fluctuating, yeah.
Where you girls are playing absolute dog shit, or you're in that WBP.
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
so there's a massive drop if you're not playing that week
Yeah.
in the WBP. So obviously everyone's fighting for that
Yeah.
those spots.
That's
And-
also makes it harder to come back up too, because if
Yeah.
you're down there playing that level,
Yeah,
you
and-
might stand out. But then when you come back up and you're thrown in the deep end,
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of an ask. And like we said before, if you go down, chances of you having a really good game around lower people,
Yeah.
like especially as a winger, not like a very good chance of it.
Yeah, wingers are always going to struggle
Yeah.
if you're not getting the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Like unless my centre kind of do their job,
yeah.
it's very hard for me to.
It's like any sport. It's like especially with you guys, it's kind of comparable with UFC, right? So you got Amanda Nunes who just starches every slut now, like girl now, and it's like with the footy with girls, you have footy girls that are actually coming through as rugby league players, and that's their thing. So it's like the older heads are now seeing these younger girls,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh shit, these girls can spin past left and right, and they know how to read. Like it's like you guys are the pioneers of
Yeah.
it, and then you're just building this platform for these young kids to come through as actual rugby league girls that have that. They'll have 14s, 15s, 16s instead of just having 12s. And then remember, they used to have to stop after 12.
Yeah, they weren't allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that's so different is the fact there was a stage where anybody could probably come and play rugby league for girls.
Yeah.
Like if you're a mum, anything, like don't have much like ball skills, like come on, you're just a big body. Where I think now that is kind of being shafted. Like you need to train, you need to get professional help outside of the training that you get just 2 days a week. And if you want to play the highest level, like, for example, Julia Robinson, I think a lot of people looked at her and she came and played one game and kind of got drafted for the Broncos after one game. But she was an athlete before that.
Yeah.
She wasn't just a random, like, silly girl. Like, she's always trained.
And she was bulked coming into it.
She's
yeah?
physically been fit for this her entire life because
Yeah.
she's trained for it. So she's I think that's one thing that's changing with the girls is people are realizing like you have to train and you have to get yourself prepared.
Exactly. And if you look at you, like, so you're training at one point, you're training with your team, you're doing some stuff with me, then you've also got your strength and conditioner, Benny Matthews, who's fucking putting you through the ropes, who's the fucking, he's a genius. So I think he's really good at what he does. Yeah. And then, so you're putting yourself out there, and that's all on your dime, just to try to get to play WBP, you know. Yeah. So
exactly, like the training that goes on top of what's just our 2-day a week is ridiculous. Like Ben, for example, from when I was at 7th to now, I've put on 13 kilos. Yeah, like.
But in between, then you've also lost a shitload.
Yeah, and then you've put it back on again. Yeah, exactly. So like, I think that's one thing that I think is such a positive is that it's getting so much more professional. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd have to be too. Like, even anyone who's not doing their own work outside of footy, if they're trying to play at a decent level, they're just pretending from the start. Like, if you want to come in and just bludge, you might make it on raw talent, but you get found out at the end of the day. Like, you might get your spot and you might make it, but there's no hiding when you're out there.
That's it. Have you been jacking off with your left hand? Like, think about it. You haven't?
I haven't even tried.
He's definitely attempted. I
haven't even tried. Cause in the
show me those calluses, bro. Give me, let me feel.
Nah.
Yeah, they're pretty smooth, man.
Yeah, because I haven't been at work for 3.5 weeks. Usually they're rough.
It's the moisturiser. You're not tricking me.
That's right. I remember. Did I ever tell you how one time I was jacking off and I grabbed Christy's hair. What do you call it? It's hair like
gel, like
like
coconut oil.
No, you don't. It's not hair. You don't wash your hair. It's not hair.
It's like dry shampoo or something.
It's shampoo, but it's like hair, like what you put in after you shampoo.
Conditioner.
You
jack off with conditioner.
You shampoo it, then you condition it, then you put something in it to like make it like it's. You don't wash it out anyway. But anyway, so I thought I was, it was like hair conditioner. Let's just call it that. And then Christy comes in and she's like, "Oi, Christian." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she's like, "Next time you masturbate, can you mind not masturbating with my fucking really expensive hair conditioner?" And I was like, "Is that what that shit was?" Yeah, because, But
you need to be careful with girls' products. Pretty.
Nah, she won't know. But anyway. I was jacking up with any lubricant style fucking product.
You just need to stick to your little Vaseline or whatever, your little cocoa butter $7 moisturiser.
No, I use silicone based from Coles. That's what I'm doing at the moment.
I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, me either.
Righty told me about it, but anyway.
Every Sunday night, I find out something else.
But Righty, your seagulls suck, yeah?
Yeah, don't they what?
I find out something else I really didn't need to know about you, and we share it with the world. Yeah. Okay?
But let's talk about your shitty seagulls, yeah?
Yeah. I went far off. We're a bit banged up. We had a fucking fair cruise.
Came back from a deficit?
Twice. Come back from deficit twice.
Yeah, and they left them with too much work to do. DCE, outstanding. He's busting his ass. Some of the young guys going very well. Big Hamuli out in that right edge. He was a star in 20s.
He was excellent too for him.
Big Tavita, big Pasico, Taniela, Big Taniela coming off the bench. He was doing some damage.
He's a giant, that fucker.
And he's starting to realise I'm a big beast and I can throw humans around. Tavita Funa, other centre. It's just, when you miss the jump with these new rules, you're in massive Barney rubble. And the Warriors were scoring some fucking easy tries, and then Manly, when they were getting possession and building pressure, they were doing the same. Yeah. It's about building pressure, and and your defence has got to be able to hold at key times. They were a shandy off locking it up at 16-all in the first half. Then they let him go 95 metres and scored just 4. So it goes in at 20-10. You end up losing 26-22.
Yeah, shit culture.
No one's breaking the bubble.
They did,
and the coach. We did give you the coach eventually. Geez, that was heartbreaking. He was the assistant at Manly a few years ago. Yeah. Well, how heartbreaking it was to lose Seabold. Geez, the smartest guy in the room. Yeah, and can't change his tactics. And that's another thing I like, Lily, that you don't try. all the women don't try and play that Melbourne Storm football like Seabold tries to coach without having the Melbourne Storm players. It gets boring and you can't do it if you don't have Cameron Smith.
But I tell you, saying that, Roddy, just tipped me up. What's entertaining about watching you girls play is the body contact that you guys throw into each other.
It's
fucking
unbelievable.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's probably one side of it. When I watched it years ago, there were some girls, like you're saying, who had just been dragged in and they didn't know how to tackle it.
Yeah.
It was like they'd been working with you in defence at times. Like, it was actually...
What are you saying?
Like,
Are you saying I'm shit in defence?
No, Christian's shit in defence.
Yeah, but if he's torture, I'll bet you don't get beat much because you'll know how to lock up the ball and wrestle because he can wrestle.
Two hooks. Two hooks.
Get a lever, slow them up. They can't offload. It does work for him.
Yeah.
Like, and some girls wouldn't know how to. Then you'd have the girls that were real good, and then they started bringing in these girls with Oztag or touch background. So they bring the skill,
really well.
Well, that's what Lil. That's what she come from, and that's why she had to work so hard.
And with I imagine with sevens rugby, because it's short and fast, everyone's got to know how to catch pass. Rugby people the rugby union mob. They do a lot more catch pass skills than we do. Everyone can pass, even if you're a big solid hooker or something. You'll know how to tip the ball on. Where with us, there are blokes who can't get through a fucking 4-cone passing drill.
Yeah.
You know, or can't pass, still haven't worked out it's a draw and pass and try and run over the guy in front of them.
Yeah. And Lil, was it a big thing for you because there's even boys in our team, the actual about holding the ball, like you know how like in sevens and stuff, it's like it's a fucking handover, just oh they've got the ball now, but like how precious it is to compete have the ball. If you're not run out, you step inside just so you can complete a set.
Yeah.
Was that a big
definitely.
thing that you noticed?
I think, I just can't even say. There's literally too many things that are just so different in this. But going back on what was just said before, like the catching, the passing is like from sevens. It's crazy how much that's drilled into you.
Yeah.
Without that, my just catch pass skills would be shit house. But like you were saying, it's so much more precious in rugby league. You've only got 6. Like, you need to utilise this. Like, you're not just... It was a never-ending swap with Union where, like, you've only got 6. Like, utilise this. Get back inside. Well, like, if we got pushed out in sevens, it's like, we'll have a line out. Like, I'll probably jump higher than you and I'll get it off you. Like, it's all a game of chance.
And in rugby league, like...
And real quickly, it was called moisturising hair treatment. That's what I jacked off with.
Write that down, Dano, for later on.
I'll keep it here. Might make the left a bit easier to use. But in rugby league, especially like a 13-a-side, the kicking game is so important. And like in the Bronx game on Friday night, Adam Reynolds just kicked him out of the game completely. So this afternoon, Sean Johnson's kicking game was on point.
With the puddles. Thanks for the puddles.
But it was it's just like such a big part of the game where if you're not completing sets and if you don't get to the kick, you're losing all that range. And a good kicking game can mean forced dropouts, errors.
Also, did everyone forget how fucking fast Johnson was when he chased down
Moses?
Holy shit! He came from like 3 players back.
I've seen him run down Inglis. And I've seen him run down Jennings. Then he was in that form slump.
He was quicker than I walk up to fucking Dano's mum in a fucking nightclub, you know?
Well.
She's good like that. Really good.
How's she going? She got a boyfriend?
Yeah, seriously.
Do you call him Dad?
Nah, I call him Scotty too, hottie. His name's Scott.
That's good, that bonded. You know, the boys are bonded. That's good bonding.
He'd probably drink for Australia. He's always pissed. He loves her.
It'd be sweet if it was Scotty Friends.
Yeah, it could be Scotty Friends. Or Scott Steiner. Or any other Scott. Great Scott.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just try and pick on
anyway, tell him to put out a sex tape, like fucking thing.
Wow. Another level that we've crossed that people shouldn't.
I'll ask her, but I don't think she'll be keen. I'll just say Freddie wants to know when you and Scotty are throwing one out. I'll let you know anyway.
I'll be that cuck in the corner, you know.
We'll put it on
cuckold.
It'll be if it happens, but we'll live stream it on the NRL Mondays page.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. You're crazy, man.
Have you got any questions to go through?
Yeah, we got some questions here. So the first one is from Rugby League, my opinion. So our boy Ollie, he goes, what did winning the comp last season mean to you, especially when considering your father was the coach and your family has had such a tight connection with the club for so many years?
He's done some research.
He
'cause
fucking has there,
and
man.
I really like that. I
Yeah,
commend that.
He's from Western Sydney too, so
Yeah,
he
he's
wouldn't
from
have
Sydney
known.
boy.
He wouldn't have
Really?
known nothing until we put
Yeah.
your name up. And
He's just
researched it.
he
He's
fucking
good.
like he's done interviews with all of us,
Oh my
and I think
gosh.
me and you got to jump on his thing soon. Or
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then
Awesome.
as soon as he
That.
found that out, he's chucked that. We didn't even
What
tip
a
him up about that.
legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's 20.
He's
Yeah,
only
something
young,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
gets paid to do interviews with people.
So anyway, I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay,
Ollie, he might be
so-
single. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was probably it's probably the best thing I've done in my life so far, because I just think, as I am so fortunate to have that family connection here. Like, my granddad played for West, like my dad's played for West. Like, even when A grade won on the weekend, he goes down and sings a song with them. Like, he loves West. So I think for me to be a part of it was so special. Like, my brother runs the water. Everybody in my family is involved in some capacity. So that day definitely meant so much to me. And yeah, like, definitely something I'm not sure anything will really top it in the near future.
The feeling too of getting to the end, even without the family connection of just being in a team, and like I've only ever won one grand finals under 16s, but
Doesn't count.
it was
And that would have been a big, big year.
it
The
was,
boys were on.
Yeah, the old
was so
solos
good.
were flying. You know, shots of solo.
Schweppes.
You go, Dano. Keep going.
Nah, fuck
keep
it.
talking,
Oh, yeah, no,
keep talking
it's
about your under 12s
I
grand
wanna
final.
hear
Yeah,
It's cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
Nah,
We
fuck
can-
is.
I remember when they wore the blue shorts, we wore the red ones, and we were grabbing tags off each other. But
I remember.
Cheers,
I remember in
yeah.
English the next day when we were talking about it on Mad Monday in English class, and we were going, "How good was that when we won?" It was.
That was the single
unreal.
greatest day of my life, and you guys are all just fucking shit all over
I
it.
should have jumped on board 15,
No,
bro.
don't. I agree.
I was fucking
10.
17. I was playing Nev Blairano when you were doing that.
I'm lucky. Wait, but was there like a time after that game where you just looked at your dad and you're like, we did it?
Yeah.
Was there
literally.
really?
No, there was. Oh my gosh. I think we had like a silly Sunday. It was pretty
Oh, it's
wild. I'm
good.
not sure if anybody knows the girls in my team, but some of them crack a cheeky little 4X before heading out there.
I
No.
thought you meant before the game.
Yes, that's exactly what
really?
I'm saying. That's you just
Dano,
you heard
Dano
me
and I.
correctly.
It's got to be the Islanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, there's only one. Like, I'm
Hashtag
not.
no racist. But
Yeah. So yeah.
Hashtag
pretty
Trump
wild
supporter,
girls.
Ku Klux Klan guy over there. I don't know.
Yeah. So look, we've got a pretty wild bunch of girls. I'm not sure if anybody's across rugby league kind of culture.
I
But
saw you after that.
yeah,
Man.
it was a pretty big couple of days. And look, I've never seen tears from Craig before, but I got some.
Really?
And I'm pretty
That's the
happy with
spirit.
it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Dano and I were out on the threes silly Sunday because Dano, if you need to make numbers up, he just comes on any silly Sunday with us.
I love it. I'm
And,
a good number
This was a
filler.
couple of years ago, and we ran into the
He's a
girl.
passenger.
We ran into all the girls at the Normanby.
Wow.
Annie
Yeah.
and that rolled in the Normanby, and they were plastered. They
Yeah,
were blind.
they were
and it
fucking
was us
upper.
drinking. There was only like 10 other people besides the
Our group
West
and their
girls and
group,
theirs. Yeah. So we all just kept drinking. I think the people, the owners were quite happy because we upped the bar takings that day
Yeah.
quite a bit. It was hard to get kicked out. They had $5 spirits.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
The girls were into it, and then boys were also just. We'd had a big
Did you
day already.
pick up?
but-
Sounds like a crew.
Yeah.
Absolute
There's
gang.
one silent guy. Some of the girls looked like they were keen for some fun, and one silent guy in our team got nervous and moved away from any girls that were touching him.
Who was that?
Max
Voorhees?
Gill. Max
Oh.
Gill. I've never seen a man move
I've
this
never
far.
seen him. Oh, yeah, and like he didn't like just get up and run away, but like slowly worked his way
Shimmy,
away.
shimmy,
just
shimmy.
Oh,
away.
really?
Where there were other guys.
So, like the girls
Actually-
that come up and
Should we
sat
talk?
there.
Should we talk about Voorhees another week? We'll save that
Yeah,
for another week.
yeah,
All right.
Where
Definitely.
where Dano, he did the reverse and shimmied into the group with
I
the
was like,
women,
everyone,
which
you
was
move
really
there
good.
and I'll move there.
Really
Okay.
smart.
I was just
So-
trying to stick up for the boys, you know. The boys that didn't want to talk to him, they felt a bit intimidated, so I was taking one for the team.
I'll just break the ice.
That's
Yeah.
nice of you.
Oh, I'm
Did they-
good like that.
He's good like that.
Yeah, there's one question that it's not on here, but it's for Lil again. Lil, do you find that because your dad is the coach, do you find that girls treat you differently because of like they're like, oh, she's just there because he's the coach?
I think before I played a game, yeah. But I think, as we said before, I have tried my best to earn my spot, and like I'm not. For example, if some people might have something on a weekend and they'll take the weekend off, like I'll never take a weekend off because I'm not going to let somebody have an attempt in my position. Like,
and you're not happy with wing though, yeah?
Nah.
Nah.
Well, look, it's okay. It's okay for now.
Where do you want to be?
Fullback.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Every winger wants to be a fullback.
Every winger wants to.
No, but then every fullback wants to be a fucking 5'8".
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
No,
true.
I'm all good. I'm never gonna get in there. Don't worry,
Yeah.
girls. You keep it. But no, I need to know the game a heap more. Like I know my capabilities, and I don't want something unless I'm ready for it. And before that, I need to understand the game. I need to be a good winger first. Just the whole, like, I'll earn my spot there, and maybe one day I'll transition in. But at the moment, we've got some cracking girls who can absolutely carve it up at the back. So there's no need for me to
It's
cut
handy.
their grass.
It's handy when you got options. Like,
Yeah.
And obviously they got options like Gemma playing there last weekend. She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Some of the footwork she has is crazy. I used to play touch with her a few
get
years
off
ago.
her
and
dick,
she
bro.
But have you ever seen her play? She make you look like a child, and especially with your.
Make you look like a fucking newborn then, cunt.
All right.
Well,
I didn't play yesterday. I didn't lose. You
oh,
did.
jeez.
Wait, you'd be injured from threes if it wasn't the week before you got injured in ones. You keep telling everyone, I got injured from once. No, but he would have been in threes the week after if he got
right. I played 30 seconds. I didn't even do it. Like I made one tackle and dropped the ball. So technically, I'm the best player in the world. So.
There was a few other questions on there.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoy this banter with you boys,
As long as they know, fuck.
is there any?
fucking
Did Oliver have anything else?
So we got thoughts on the. So this is from Big Al,
Oh, yeah.
our boy. He goes thoughts on the Warriors appointing Brown and Gould.
Like it.
Yeah, I do. Brown's very good at developing.
Explain it
young
to
blokes.
people if they didn't know about what he's talking about.
Okay. Okay. There's a team in New Zealand. It's called the New Zealand Warriors.
I'm going to get you a subscription to the
I'm
Telegraph.
Okay. At the moment, these brave souls have to spend their time in Australia because you can't fly to New Zealand yet.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm getting up to speed. They need a coach. Nathan Brown's been around. Nathan Brown is very good at developing players, and Gould's the.
Has he been over in Super League or is he?
Yeah, he was previously for a bit. He was there, and he's just been. He was at the. Came back, went to the Knights.
Was it the Knights? Yeah.
And he was working with the Storm at periods of time. He's very. When you hear him talk, he goes on Triple M sometimes, and he's very smart
He's
about
good in the way
the
he
development
speaks,
role and things like that, like of players and what to look for and how to manage your cap. And he explains things like that.
And I've not from a player's point of view, I haven't heard bad, fucking
Bad raps on
yeah,
him.
bad raps on him. As a coach, I've heard really good things.
All raps from him are pretty positive, and his main thing is the recruitment and getting the blokes in and like getting the sort of the culture around.
And convincing new blokes to want to get on board for the fact that there is a future there. And so they made up a bit of a hit list, and some of the guys on there would really help their club. And with Gould, he'd be helping with the development side of things.
Yeah.
Just coming through from the grassroots. Different
Gould
sort of
for
program.
me can suck on these nuts. I fucking hate the cunt.
I'm not sure how he's going to do too much of a job for him while he's in Australia, and like once they go back to New Zealand, like
He'll be there quite a lot. He'll be floating in because
he'll have to
they've
be.
had zero COVID cases in 100 days. So that's going to open up at some stage. We're probably more chance to go there than we are to go anywhere else in the fucking
So
world.
what? Gould will split his time between
He's going to have to be.
and
Oh, no, he's not with
No,
Penrith
he's not
no
with
more.
Penrith.
He was
Okay.
going to be a player. He'd be a player manager.
Yeah.
But if you're a player manager, you cannot be associated with a club, I wouldn't think. Because you got like that guy that cops a bit of criticism, that Isaac Moses, the guy who had a lot of people at the Bronx. He now has heaps of guys at Newcastle. So people question that. And is he directing blokes there? Is he moving players around to get his more highly paid clients in there, so he's getting more cash out of it and things like that, all that sort of speculation.
And do you think, like, with Penrith, like, Gould's shown, like, he's coming to Penrith and they're building like that. Do you reckon he's shown that he's good at that kind of stuff? I just can't listen to him on the fucking commentary.
They got better and better, and then Cleary came in at the right time. It was time for him to step aside, and you get a coach in there, they've got to have pretty much sole control, because you can't have someone looking over your shoulder trying to fix things.
That's the problem,
especially if you lose, say, 3 in a row.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of organisations like that is the head coach doesn't get given 100%. Like it might be like fronted saying he does, but then you got all sorts of administration and stuff like that in the background putting their 2 cents in on how the football should be done.
Yeah.
Like if your coach is coming in, you got to give him the keys and let him take the car for a drive, you know. And if he dings it up, he dings it up. If not,
and that'd be the hard
Bit of
part
ride or
about
die.
being a coach at certain clubs, even local clubs. If you're getting people offering you all this advice, you've got to know how to filter through it.
Yeah.
Even at local level, you lose a game and you've got 10 blokes up in the bar that know how to fix the game. Yeah, you could have told me that before the game, but like they've got all the answers.
All right,
It's excellent.
Will, here's another question you can jump in on. It's about what do you think about the pay scale between men and women in the like sport, especially rugby league? But even though it's shorter season, but do you think that it's a normal thing that the boys get paid a lot more than the girls because of the spectators and stuff they draw in? Or?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously telling me that I'm like my first opinion's like that's so shit because what my goal is to play professional footy, and no matter what level I get to, it will always be semi-professional. So I think the problem there is obviously we know we don't get as many spectators, so I think that that's fair. Then we're not bringing in enough money to pay to pay the players. Like that is just a fact. There's like no more to it. But if that is the case, more money needs to be put in developing our game, like advertising everything to get the spectators there. I'm not sure what it is, but there's managing sides to very big corporations, and somehow, and I think something that is going to be really good for that is having Caslick play. As much as like I have another opinion on that, a lot of people are going to be watching it because they want to see the outcome, and I think that's going to bring in money. So something like that, more situations like that need to occur for us to bring in money and therefore get paid more. I think like you can't really fight the fact that we don't have the people in the stands and therefore we just can't get paid the same amount right now. But I think that needs to be at the forefront of everybody's mind in terms of increasing that for the future.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
Put it this way to you,
Yeah.
Christian. If Daly Cherry Evans is next West boy,
Yeah.
if Daly come back and had a season at West and was playing, and Charlotte Catholic, her father, played at West, if WBP, coached by Trigger, were playing at Mitchie and Daly was playing, would you go there, or Charlotte Catholic was playing for the women out there at Arana at the same time?
Oh,
Who would you go?
Cherry.
And that was the thing. And they have to be able to work this together so everyone's getting a piece of the pie.
But
and developing their comp to be longer than like 4 weeks, it's a little bit farcical.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the best way to do this is. But
I think the best way to do it is you do it. So instead, like you bring back I loved when Queensland Cup was playing in front of the NRL. That was the best thing ever.
Yeah, that was
But you go Queensland Cup, then you go WNRL, and then you go NRL.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Have legitimate curtain raisers.
Yeah.
I think it's great that the girls are
with the
playing
WNRL, they shouldn't consider that as semi-pro. That's pro. When that WNRL season, that's professional because that's what they're doing for money.
The problem with doing it that way too is you got to try and find times and schedules. Like NRL got Friday night games to kick off at 7:30 to fit 2 more games in front of that on a Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoons.
But these guys don't have as many games per round
but
as the boys.
Like if we were trying to work in with like having interest and then the girls and then the NRL like as curtain raisers, like it's just not going to be realistic.
You wouldn't be able to do
it
every week,
and not in every game. You'd have to just pick 1 or 2 games a week because there's no way you'd get. It just wouldn't work. Like now. The schedule's pretty full of NRL, like a Saturday, Super Saturday, just the rugby league takes up the whole afternoon. Yeah. Just the NRL, sorry. And then same on Sunday, you got 2 games.
But the thing is, with the girls, though, if they can't have that stadium spot, then you take them down to like a Valleys and you'll fill the area.
And I think it's a good thing
shit.
having all those games there on the one day.
Yeah.
Because everyone gets to see everybody. If you're a footy fan, you can go and watch 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
And you could do it as something like that. You could have 2 women's curtain raiser before a cup game.
I think that's
Something
what
like that. But the
wom-
cup would have to kick
the
off
women's
later.
AFL do very well is they
Yeah.
play it out of
Oh,
local
yeah,
grounds.
yeah.
Women's AFL have done very well
Yeah.
in terms of like building the women's game. Like just for example, last year we're playing the highest level of women's sport that you could play before being in NRL. So that's the equivalent of in-trust.
Yeah.
And we didn't play before A grade because reserve grade did. We didn't play before opens. We played before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That to me, like regardless of pay, like that is an example of
Yeah.
where it needs to change.
Yeah.
Like it
Because-
should, and realistically, if you're looking at the level, it should go opens and then reserves and then you guys
And then A grade,
and then
yeah.
A grade, yeah,
Yeah, and even then, it's not even.
yeah,
But like that is how we would get people to the game. That's
Yeah.
how you'd get people to come and watch.
that's right.
And
And if you get Dano running your team, just tip him up, you know.
Oh, geez.
You're trying to give me away that easily. I thought I brought a little bit more to the table than that.
What, chat at training?
Yeah.
That's all you do is stand there.
good chat.
But I'm at training with these cunt. Where were
You're
you
not
last
even
week?
showering, cunt. I just want to see that knob.
Yeah, I'll
Get
bring
it
my
out.
plastic bag next week. And
Dane's already said
Good
they've got the
man,
walls up at the showers now.
it's
What do you mean?
no,
That was at Waterford.
But
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
To-
break
It's
those
all
walls
good at West
down.
Mitchie. Don't worry,
Oi,
get in there.
Pink Floyd, that shit.
if they put dividers in the showers at Mitchie, I'd rip them down.
I know.
I
I
would
just
just
jump
go in
in
there.
the one. Everyone in the one thing.
Yeah, just squish
it
in.
just makes it even
Yeah.
tighter. Fuck
That's
yeah.
what I did with Thingo the other week. Hoops. He made me look real
Hoops.
bad.
Yeah, he makes a lot of people look bad. Old Hoops.
All right, we got a couple more questions, boys. We got Kimmy Ingebrigtsen. Can we expect an on-field cameo from Righty at any stage of 2020?
Don't answer that, righty. I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
As soon as the final series starts,
Yeah.
the feet get itchy, the boots get dusted off, and the right man will be saddling up for one last ride.
But right, man, you reckon he'll be out there once this year? You got to do it on the new field, bro.
They got smoked on the weekend, like smoked. They got some poor guys that are terrible. So I was stepping back, but there's a chance that I will offer my services to sit on the bench and come on and play some minutes. If that
But do you want to play on that field though?
Yeah,
do you like
looks
it? You
mint.
play, Lil, you love
Looks-
that new field.
yeah. Fantastic field.
When you first touch it, you think it's going to be a bit hard.
It
I don't know
is.
if but when you're playing,
But have you played on Suncorp? So
No.
Suncorp's the same. Suncorp's it looks
Oh,
real
field,
nice and
yeah,
it's
right.
fucking hard underneath.
but
But
when you're
it's
playing,
just,
it's not. Yeah, not bad.
yeah,
Yeah, big. Oh, I haven't played on it yet. I can't wait.
yeah.
Considering I'm the slowest
no.
man alive to start with, so
I'll let
whether
you run
can-
across it. We
whether
can
you
just
Are you
run
back
across
this
it together.
season sometimes, Dano? Are you
I'll
gonna be?
find out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday.
so
will be
Hope
the
it
same
means
thing.
straight.
we could have,
Yeah.
we could have lost a few blokes this year.
Yeah.
And
If it
yeah,
has, I should be back in a couple of weeks. It should be good. I might get a couple.
And
of
if you're
games
back,
on
I'll probably throw you past. You'll be out.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Just
then you'll break your
hospitalised.
scat or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You're done.
I
What a
just love
dog.
hospitalising the whole side.
Then we got David Ellis.
Yeah, DJ.
DJ, we got worst coaching records in NRL history. You'd know this.
Oh,
I had to think.
Stephen Kearney can't be any good, surely.
They struggled, but over the
I don't think he's been
Tommy
head coach
Rid-
enough though.
Yeah,
He's
true.
always
Tommy Radonicus coached West when it just first became NRL after normal, and West before they merged were the ultimate strugglers.
How was Henjak's record?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Um,
first year it was great, but then those other years, he was the first coach. They've only missed the finals. This will be three times, the
times,
Broncos, and once was with Bennett in the early days.
And
or
Henjak
four,
and
probably
Siegel.
four. They missed 91, 88. They lost a playoff in 89, and then Henjak
2011.
took them from prelim to not making
Yeah.
it, and then they gave him the arse.
Garth Brennan, surely his record can't be any crash hot.
Well, he got let go early too, and
Yeah,
and that's
because he couldn't win any games.
yeah, but he was a good coach. So you go to some places, and they can be it can be like the black hole.
Mm.
But there's only 16 NRL
Yeah.
head coaching jobs. So
Yeah.
you've got to work out what you want. It was ironic because when Bellamy got the Storm job, he knocked back the West Tigers,
Mm.
and then the West Tigers won the comp 3 years later, and then
Yeah, with
and
Shanesy.
then Melbourne developed into their reign after that,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then got stripped of half a dozen premierships or something.
Who asked that question?
That was
DJ.
DJ.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Well done,
Any
DJ.
other?
So yeah, I got one. So Sully.
Yeah.
So old Dan Sullivan, he listens to the show every week. I'm going to bring him on. He's fucking hilarious. I talked about the dream I had about him last week.
Can you tell me?
So I had a dream about him that Sully was doing a roadside strip club, and I was interviewing to work for him, and I was telling him this.
You're a messed up man.
I was telling him
real
this in the staff room, and I was like, Sully had a dream about. I love Sully, man. I was telling him, I go, mate, you're running this road. We're in the States, and it was like, you know, you're driving on the interstate, you pull over to like Coyote Ugly, you go in, you get your fucking tits and wings. Eat a couple of fucking buffalo wings, then get some tits in your face,
And he was
then
in there.
yeah, Sully owned it.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I was interviewing to own it, and then while I'm telling him this, his missus keeps in real life, his missus keeps messaging him going, "You better sort out the turf this weekend. I need laid." And she keeps buzzing him, and he keeps picking up his phone. He goes, "The way she's fucking going, she's not going to get a job in my fucking strip club." But anyway, he fucking he
You enjoyed that story?
Yeah. Well, he said the story.
Yeah.
And I'm just repeating it anyway. So anyway, I like the show better when you weren't here last week. But he goes.
It didn't rate as well, I bet, just quietly.
But he also goes, because if you heard us last week, right, you would have heard this one. He goes, does anyone on the panel from last week rate Cameron Munster of a chance of playing Origin?
That was a
because remember when we were talking about who was going to play 5'8", we couldn't think of anyone.
That was a bit of a
Munster,
slip up.
Yeah.
He's
Got brought to my attention
Yeah,
first thing
obviously.
Tuesday.
we didn't bring
Yeah.
it up. So did you
He's
notice
onto
that? Right,
yeah,
man?
I was wondering why Munster didn't get mentioned.
Yeah, I had a lot
was
of
a
blokes
couple
on
of-
And
Tuesday.
then
in
another question from Saul is there any way the Broncos can make their season any worse?
Well,
no,
it started to
No.
Tavinga. If Fafita was to get injured and not play another game,
Yeah,
that's probably
probably
the
the
injured,
only
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
They just got to start finding ways to win. Just at least give some of their loyal supporters something to cheer about.
Just get a couple. Like there's 3 or 4 games in the last 7 or 8 that are winnable.
That's it.
because there
and
is a chance they can
I say
finish
winnable.
last.
We're versing sides
Yeah.
like the Titans, who
Who beat
apparently aren't an easy beat.
Who beat
anymore.
them and then had a good win today over
And
the
it-
Cows.
You know,
They've-
and if you
they could
can't,
get the
just
spoon,
just
which-
put out sex tapes. You know?
Oh, exactly. If you can't, just keep sucking toes.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it.
Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well,
Can we get a
Well
photo for
convinced.
any given Sunday of you sucking some toes?
It's any given Monday, but
Any given
anyway,
Monday.
but
Yeah,
we've
any
only
given
done this
Monday.
for 50 times.
Oh,
But
sorry,
yeah,
I did watch any given Sunday the
yeah.
other night.
Let me see your toes. I might suck them.
Dano.
Ooh, I don't
Dano's
know how
got
I
young
feel about
toes.
that. Don't look
Show
at
me
mine.
yours.
No.
Oh no, we
I'm
can't.
out. Guys, I'm out.
You can't.
God,
say
Not a
you-
massive
You should
toe,
see
guys.
mine. You'll fucking dry reach straight away. But and the last one from Sol is this is a good one. He goes, is a standard in the local footy improved or dropped off this year because of the interruptions of
I reckon it's
of the
just. I reckon
of
it's
the bad eaters?
I reckon it's better some ways because we're playing guys from the south side in week-to-week games.
Yeah.
Where last year we only in the semis, and with both our sides losing the first week of the semis, we didn't play. We only played them south side teams once. Now we've played Redlands and just got beat. We've got to go to Waterford, which is going to be tougher.
I think what's done, it's concentrated each side.
yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah.
so.
Quite
with,
like it.
Like with a lot of people sort of pulling in, pulling out. Obviously, Cup's not going, so I think all the talent's been
it's all
fucking
big and
squished in a
compressed.
bit. So like even our Div 1 comp this year is like a pretty hard comp with some real good players running around.
They're right players. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't do much for me, but anyway,
Oh,
yeah, they're right.
You're retired now, man.
Yeah.
You're gone.
You're old.
Gone.
You're old
Yeah.
news.
past it.
You
You're
are
out-
old.
You're out the door, brother.
But yeah, and then I that's the last question there. But yeah,
Sweet.
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 Yeah, nice.
But
Well
done.
I think we can fucking wrap this bitch up. But other than that, wait, just let me check YouTube, Facebook. And that's good. We got a photo of Lil. I forgot to put it up there, but
Thanks,
she's scoring a
guys.
try, even though it looks like her foot's touching the
Nah, I did
post. Yeah.
watch the replay. If you watched it, you'd know.
All right.
She
Yeah.
went down.
Well, Lil, thanks heaps for coming on. Appreciate
you
it.
so much,
Anytime. Get those toes out. We'll get ready. Dano, get your mouth ready. And right, man, you want to take this out? So he did a real good job of taking us
Yeah,
out
he was
last week.
sensational.
Yeah.
Before you go, Roddy, just a quick shout out to Bergs' new
Yes.
book, Maroon
Ex-
Mentality.
yeah.
Maroon mentality.
We got some copies. I'm going to try and sort us out a copy for a giveaway.
100%. Yeah, I've started. It's cool because you look through. He's got the way that the chapters are written out. It's just through the players. So I've already chosen players that I've already read through, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah. So Maroon Mentality, and it just dropped. He only dropped it 4 days ago, I think, and so you can buy them. I don't know where you're getting them from, but he's selling them for $40 a pop.
Yeah, you get them on his website, loxtonbergs.com.au.
Yeah,
we'll put the link up.
But I'll put the link up. I'll also chuck him in because I'll do a sponsor read for the start of this, and Bergs has jumped on. Maroon Mentality is one of our major sponsors, so we'll plug that every week as well. And Brick Lane obviously, but we'll do this at the start. And toe sucking and pussy with your little car set thing. But you want to take us out here, right, man?
Thanks.
Thanks to Lil for coming on. Where's the girls at this week? I know you all play at the one.
Yeah, we're down at Burleigh this week, so it's a bit of a trek.
Burleigh.
Yeah.
So if you're down the coast and you want to watch some good rugby league, get down and watch all the women's team. If you're in Brisbane, come next Sunday. Open ones. The West Mitchie Panthers, the Battlers, Saturday, the People's Champions. We're off to play the top of the table brothers, juniors at Stafford. Promises to be
brothers, put the fucking crack pipe down. Get ready for a game. Promises we're going to come pump you cunts.
Promises to be.
Aren't you having microsurgery this week?
Promises to be a great battle. Freddie talks the talk when he won't be playing, and we know that he's just like the tough guy in the crowd heckling. All right, like the equivalent of the modern day keyboard warrior without a keyboard. Good on you, bud. Good on you. Going to be a cracking game. Should be 3:00 kickoff. If you're near Stafford, come down. Plenty of fucking good footballers playing. Everyone look after each other. Queensland, we're in a good place. New South Wales are getting better. The poor Victoria, the poor bastards, they are up shit creek. Let's not make this any worse. We're going to overcome this COVID. Keep supporting the game. Keep looking after each other. And more importantly, don't be a mercenary. And we'll be back next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. And if you're feeling down in life, get on to Freddie's page. We put it up on any given Monday. Freddie likes to put up a bit of a motivational
Just
thing.
let you know, Righty writes all that. I do not do that
he's
shit.
He's actually lying.
That's actually Freddie.
He came up. He's just come up with a name for it. It's called the Freed Way. Okay.
And also, if you ordered any given Monday kit, it's a delayed because of the delivery from Japan and China at the moment. So we're trying to get it through as fast as we can, and we'll get it through the people that actually ordered. We're trying to get it through you as fast as we can. So just be patient. We appreciate it, and because of the delay, I'll probably throw in a little bit of OE gear with it. So
outstanding work, Freddie.
Yeah. Thanks, Lil.
Thank you so much for having me, everybody.
She's got her shoes off already, so
yeah, I've got the Berks.
Okay.
Rookie error today, toes are out.
Instead of a skull, Dano does a toe suck. Excellent. This will get that many likes. This will really draw the people in and the crackers. Okay.
Can you skull, Lil?
No.
Can you beat a 320?
No.
Okay.
No. And also on my green piece.
Yeah.
I need to drive home.
And we don't. And we do not encourage drink driving.
Cheers, Lil.
Not at all. Yeah.
Everyone take care, and we'll be back in a week.
Thanks, boys. Thanks a lot.